Listen, let me ask you an important question. What are your thoughts on Leatherface not having infinite stamina anymore?
I don't think you should.
You don't think Leatherface should have infinite stamina?
No.
Really?
No. I mean, he basically already does. I mean, you're asking to change it.
I'm saying with the chainsaw sprint.
You to not. Oh, no, he needs to keep that. Otherwise, there's literally no point in doing revving up for a big swing if you're just going to have to stop 10 feet in front of you.
This is like it's a debate I hear all the time, is if he runs out of endurance, even during a chainsaw sprint, that he should stop the chainsaw sprint.
I don't think so. It kind of, I mean, it nerfs the hell out of the chainsaw sprint.
Yeah. I know, like, on paper, that sounds like a good idea, because logically, it's like, yeah, dude, how is he?
He's out of stamina.
He runs forever. I mean, you can do it as long as you can handle your rev. You can do it forever. As long as your ears don't blow out, you can do it for as long as you want to. And I can see how that is just not. You ever held a David Bradley 360? I have one in my office if you want to pick it up and tell me if you can. If you can even lift it over your head, I'd be impressed. But to run with the shit, for the way he does, it's crazy.
He is a big boy.
He's thick. He's 6'7", 330 pounds of man meat. Yeah. But dude, it's pretty crazy. So I understand logically why it doesn't make much sense, but I don't think people realize how much people that are begging for that to happen. I don't think they realize how much of a nerf that is to him.
I mean, you start chainsaw sprinting, and at that time, how long can you chainsaw sprint? Then.
Yeah, your ability to patrol would just go down so much. And how quick that, I guess, attribute points put into endurance now matter then with Leatherface, because right now they really don't.
Nope.
Because especially people are running hysterical strength, they don't put any points into endurance. You'd have to actually do some thinking about where to put your attribute points, because right now everyone is either just putting on the savagery and leaving their points off so that violent feels faster, or they put it all into blood harvesting. I don't see many people running high endurance builds on Leatherface.
No, not at all. Because you're going to be chainsaw sprinting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you're in the chainsaw sprint, you can't interact with doors. You got to slow down. You have to stop to interact with a door. So then if you're out of stamina, you got to, sacrifice moving while you're revving up your chainsaw again.
Yeah. And one thing people, I think, forget about all the time with that chainsaw sprint is that you can't hear shit.
Yep.
And like hearing in this game is way more important than people realize. Or, newer players realize. Like family mains know, like you're listening for footsteps, breathing, dialogue. That's where the family focus ability comes in clutch. Beyond just seeing things across the map, you're also can hear better. So if you're chainsaw sprinting, like that is kind of gone.
Yeah, I mean, we in our 3-man party, if we're playing family, we have to yell Valve. Yeah. That you can hear it, or that Chase can hear it when he's playing Leatherface.
Because you could easily miss it.
Yeah, I mean, battery even. You can miss that. Sometimes the gen pop-up wouldn't pop up. You miss that.
Yeah, you can. Well, that's the thing. If you're missing the pop-ups, then you're really screwed as Leatherface. Because, you will not hear the fuse a lot. You'll not hear that sound of the door opening. You definitely won't hear the valve going.
Or the handle even on.
Yeah, if you're chainsaw sprinting. Honestly, even the idling sound of the chainsaw is enough to eliminate a lot of what you would hear footstep-wise for family. That's why this buff to the instant start is actually bigger than you may even think. I don't think it's OP. Let me just clarify that. I don't think it's OP. But yeah, when you could just turn the saw off and just listen, it makes a huge difference. Like, I'm hearing things again.
Right.
And my tinnitus is not acting up.
Yeah.
That's the best part. So that's a big change too. So if you get rid of the chainsaw sprint being unlimited, I don't know.
Yeah, again, you would stop after 5 seconds. You'd be out of stamina. So what's the point of even chainsaw sprinting unless a family member is in a close encounter right in front of you, straight shot, and then you start to rev it. Like
it could really affect the meta. Would change. You would start running like the perk for Leatherface where he revs and he his 60% recharge on endurance while he's revving, it's 60% faster. So you're getting like fired up quality with Leatherface.
Right.
That could fall into the meta then, because you'd want to get your endurance back as quickly as possible. You'd put more attribute points in. It would definitely change and spice the game up. But I think ultimately it could increase the rush meta.
Yeah.
So the whole game kind of needs to slow down. So if you were to really continue to slow things down, limit your scouts, limit your wireframes and fire it up and easily tucker it out, and then like the choose flight nerf or anything else like that, and you keep slowing things down a bit where you're kind of at your base speeds, then I could see where the chainsaw sprint actually being affected by maybe you could stay in the chainsaw sprint, you just slow down. You know, like what if you run out of endurance, you drop down to like half your chainsaw sprint speed or something like that. Maybe that's too much. I don't know.
That might be a little too much. Maybe there's a healthy medium in there. Just thinking about it right now, no, I don't. I think if he's in the chainsaw sprint, it should still be unlimited, because again, you're still sacrificing hearing things, and you're sacrificing opening doors. Like a family strat is having someone go down a well and checking to make sure the door that Leatherface is about to go through is open.
It's open. Yeah.
There are amount of times where I'll be the cook, I'll hobble my way down, open that door so Leatherface can run right down.
Yeah.
So you're sacrificing that for unlimited sprinting overhead with the chainsaw that you can't do anything else with other than stop or swing.
It's one of those things. I hope custom games happen eventually, because I don't know, that's a very specific setting to change. But I'd love to see that in action. I would like to test and see how that feels. And maybe they already have in QA or something, or in internal testing. They've tried it that way. But I just want to know how that would feel.
Right.
How could you still shut down a rush meta? How miserable would it be to play Leatherface? Because you want Leatherface to be more fun to play. That was why they made the changes to the instant start. You can actually enjoy that experience a bit more, and not be blowing out your ears the whole time. So I don't know. It's probably a little too much.
Yeah. Maybe you sacrifice maybe only 20% of your speed when you run out of stamina, maybe. Or it takes a while to then recharge your stamina after. Maybe Leatherface takes longer for some, I don't know.
Yeah. You would think you would do something when the endurance hits bottom. But because, when you stop your sprint, you're still out of endurance until it comes back. And then, you're in a little weak ass jog of his. I don't know. Probably not. That's the answer. Probably shouldn't do that.
I mean, hey, we can run a couple custom games where we do that ourselves.
You gotta pay attention. That's a lot of work.
Yeah. Why would we do that?
You gotta actually look down there all the time.
I mean, it'd run out so quick.
Yeah. I don't know. If you've ever seen a high endurance Leatherface build, I mean, try it. You gotta see what it's like. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, a high endurance Leatherface build is not overhead sprinting 90% of the time. Like 90% of the match, he's not overhead sprinting.
If you're running a high endurance build, you probably don't like chainsaw sprinting. Maybe you're stealthy Leatherface. Keep your saw off and run around that way.
And newer players aren't going to be able to maneuver as good. And even some older players, they don't have it. Not everyone's built for Leatherface.
We're not all built the same.
No, some people are built different. So maybe if you do run Leatherface that way, you're not overhead sprinting all the time. You can make call outs. You can still be effective.
Yeah.
And hear things. But
I would like to, if this conversation, I would like to hear if anyone in the comments does have an endurance based Leatherface build. That'd be interesting. Is there any Leatherface mains out there that don't have max savagery?
Right.
They don't exist. No, all my points are on endurance and blood harvesting.
Yeah, you max out savagery and you throw the rest on blood harvesting.
Yeah, and sometimes not even all of it, because if you're running violent, you just want to hold 100 blood, because the less blood you hold, the faster the vial's full.
Right. So you put it into endurance just to put it somewhere.
I literally don't, because if I'm running hysterical strength, I want my endurance to run out.
Yeah.
I want my endurance to run out, and so I'd have like 15 leftover points. When I ran that build, I don't anymore, but when I ran that build specifically, the violence scout build and hysterical strength, I literally would have like 12 leftover attribute points. I just didn't put in anything.
Yeah, if there are any endurance Leatherface builds, put them in the comments, because I want to read about them. I want to get into your mind. I want to know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a valuable strat.
Maybe one of these days I'll try it out. See what happens. That's it. Moving on. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.